Maybe.
The wonder.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Another beautiful day in God's paradise. How's everyone doing today? And including Dr. Nelson. And today we have Carnivore Teacher Alpha, the most famous, amazing John Laspina, talking about plant poisonings and beyond oxalates, his new book. And we're really excited to talk to John. And before we bring John online, welcome everyone. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment where you're at, and QQQ and hashtag KMT. Dr. Nelson, what do we got to start the day?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, hashtag KMT for a chance to get what?
A baseball cap. Or if you already have one, a Dr. Nelson hat.
Also, I have a little video introduction. It's like a minute and a half for John before we talk to him, and put your questions in the chat. Well, let's see.
Okay, let's talk about John Laspina, who you might know as the Carnivore Teacher. And he's not kidding. He says this lifestyle completely turned his life around. Now, this wasn't some quick fix. His journey actually took over 7 years. He started with 4 years on keto before going full carnivore for 3 more. So after all that time, what actually happened? What were the results? First up, the most obvious change. He dropped a solid 35 pounds. But it went way beyond weight. His AFib, a serious heart issue, went into remission. And that chronic lower back inflammation he always dealt with, completely gone. The list keeps going. He also saw healthier teeth and gums, and even better skin. But, the changes weren't just on the outside. They were mental, too. Get this, his lifelong battles with OCD and depression, he says they just vanished. So with an experience like that, what's his advice for someone starting out? Well, he suggests easing into it. Start with low carb or keto, then make the switch. You can see how his own journey basically became his playbook for teaching others. This transformation gave him his whole new identity, the Carnivore Teacher. And that's exactly what he does on his YouTube channel. He shares his story. Which really makes you wonder, right? Can changing your diet actually change your purpose?
And before we start with these questions, the next 4 events for Dr. Kiltz: meat stock, cholesterol code screening. I don't know if he's going to be there, but Albany and Montello. Go to kiltzmeetup.com and you'll find all the information there. And if you're not a member of the Kiltz Tribe, become a member of the Kiltz Tribe.
It's for free.
It's for free.
And our intention is keep it free as long as we can. And we're going to create a Patreon, a GoFundMe page. And the mission is let's keep funding and make this and keep it all affordable. The fertility side, the healing arts side, and the KMT side. So
Awesome.
Welcome, John. How are you doing, my brother?
Thank you, Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson and Ali, for having me on again. I love coming on here. I'm doing great. And that, Dr. Nelson, I guess that's what you tried to send me yesterday that wouldn't open up. And that was pretty kind of weird to watch myself. I was really cool, though.
John, are plants good for us? And if so, why? And if not, why?
The basic question. Plants have been around for ever. We are omnivores, but our body thrives most efficiently on a carnivore diet, because on a carnivore diet, we get all of our amino acids that make a complete protein. We get all of our healthy fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6 in a healthy balance. We get all of our fat and water soluble vitamins. We get all of our minerals. We do not need vegetables or fruits. People can eat them. People can tolerate them, but they come packaged with fiber and with a variety of plant toxins. And that's what my book is about, the different plant toxins. And everybody is susceptible to them to varying degrees. You know, most of the plants in the world are poisonous. And the ones that are in the grocery store, in the produce section, are the percentage of 1% that many humans can tolerate. But that does not mean that they're not full of toxins. So we can, but learn about them. Informed consent is what my book is all about. Understand what they are, where they are, what they can do to the human body, and proceed accordingly with that knowledge.
Are there any civilizations that survived and thrived on only plants for infinite generations? Sorry, Dr. Nelson, we'll get you.
Infinite generations. I don't know about the length of time. I don't think so. I think that the reason we're here and our brains are so large are because we were able to nourish ourselves with animal protein and animal fats. And
Dr. Nelson.
Yeah, my question was going to be, so isn't a spinach and kale smoothie healthy for us?
Oh, yum. Spinach and kale. Let's throw some chia seeds and cinnamon and turmeric. And what the hell? Let's throw almond powder in there. These are so high in oxalates and lectins, my gosh, and phytic acid. And we're compounding these toxins when we make these smoothies, which we didn't do 10 or 20 years ago as much. You know, people, a couple decades ago, we made a dish and we mixed it with dairy, which helped, bind the oxalates. But today we are just giving ourselves bombs of toxins, and people are landing in the hospital. They don't know why. And of course, they're diagnosed with something different.
Put your questions in the chat. Go ahead, Dr. Kiltz.
So we've talked about carnivore lifestyle. We talk about plant-based lifestyles. In general, over the last 50 to 100 years, has our medical system, science system, nutritional system propagated mostly an animal-based diet or a plant-based diet? And what do you think has happened, and why do you think it's happened?
I think, of course, they've propagated a plant-based system. We hear ad nauseum that plants are healthier, that do not eat meat. It will clog your arteries. It will saturated fat is bad for you. It's the message that has been repeated, and we believe it like we know that water is wet. People just repeat it over and over again, and they look at me when I tell them otherwise, like I'm the crazy person from Mars. When I tell them my diet and they ask me, they think I'm crazy. But so I think the messaging has been wrong all this time. Yeah.
So do plants lack things as their primary problem, or they're significantly toxic and poisonous as their biggest problem?
We can extract vitamins and minerals, and a lot of vegans and vegetarians, they're living this way, and they're also supplementing because they have to. There's lots of things in plants that you absolutely can't even get, so they have to supplement. But the nutrition that we can get from plants is very small. The bioavailability is cut back because of fiber and because of these plant nutrients. For example, oxalates are very negatively charged anions, and they're very strongly attracted to positively charged minerals like calcium, like manganese, like zinc. And so when you eat these plants, you're not receiving, your body is not absorbing the nutrition as much as you think you are. Maybe
What
10 or 15%.
What poisons are in ribeye steak? Toxins.
Zero. As far as I know, there are none.
Huh.
That is I have lists in my book of the highest, the moderate, and the lowest plant toxins for each one and where you can find them. And I list all the foods, and then we get to animal foods, and there's virtually zero. I think the animals that are eating plants that have oxalates, there may be trace in the meat. We don't even know, but it's basically zero plant toxins.
So since we're living in has the complicated story of science helped us to be healthier, lowered cost of healthcare, fewer people are on medications and drugs? Do you think the science has boosted the health and wellness over the last 100 years?
I wish. I think it's gone the other direction. Unfortunately, we're constantly told what is supposedly healthy, and to have more fiber and to eat more plants and fewer servings of red meat. And then the healthcare industry is really a sick care industry. They're there to diagnose and prescribe a pill or a medicine to treat a symptom instead of looking at the underlying root cause and fixing that, which is often, not always, but often what we put in our mouth. And when we go to the doctors, most doctors, you could get through an entire doctor visit and they don't ask the most basic question. What are you eating these days? I mean, even the veterinarian will ask, what are you feeding your dog?
Right, but the answers are healthy, clean, organic. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
You can't ask, what are you eating? You have to ask, do you eat this, this?
I agree.
I've got a list I always go through because I usually ask people, what do you eat? Healthy, clean, organic. And I'm like, and then they say, well, chicken, fish, and turkey. Where do you get chicken, fish, and turkey? And what does it look like when you get it from the store?
Right. And where they're getting it from the store, it's probably breaded. It's probably have all the seasonings and the stuff on it. They're not buying a chicken that was it's very hard to find chickens that are eating their natural diet. They're being fed genetically modified corn and feed, and their monogastric stomach can't filter out the glyphosate. And so it's not the best meat, but hey, it's better than cereal.
Well, but what is missing in chicken, fish, and turkey and filet mignon?
What's missing?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything missing. You're just not getting the best.
Fat, the organ meats. It's missing the rest of the animal.
Well,
because 50,000 years ago, you did not hunt and say, I'm going to throw all of this away and eat the fillet.
True.
It didn't exist.
Good point.
Because even carnivores are eating a lean meat centric, which they call protein centric, which is all bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're not eating the organ meats or the fat. And then they're eating rendered fat.
True.
Is rendered fat the same thing as raw fat?
Well, rendered fat is you're missing, I guess, whatever you call the fiber that's in it, the stuff that gives it its nutrition, and it's just oil. You turned it into an oil. You're
right. You're missing the glycolipoproteins.
There you go. The words.
I'm
you're right. And knowing this and learning this from you, sir, I make sure I buy the fatty cuts, and I'm making sure that I'm eating. Like I love picanha and that fat cap. And I
wait. Who's the picanha king?
The picanha queen is Christy from Meeting Wellness,
and the king is Dr. Nelson.
Oh, really, Dr. Nelson? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
All right. Love picanha. We smoke it on the Traeger grill very slowly until the center reaches.
Oh, I always cut it in steaks.
Oh, do you? Okay, I do the whole thing all at once, real slow, and it's
have a picanha in the freezer that I need to thaw.
We always have it because there's where we live here in Florida. They're everywhere. It's and pretty affordable. I'm really happy about that. But all that fat on there is wonderful.
And really getting the animal from our local ranchers would be the best.
Yes.
But remember, even the local ranchers are leaner meats, and the processors cut away most of the fat.
They do.
And so you're lost.
Yeah.
And this is the craziness. The key to keto, paleo, and carnivore is the raw fat. It's like, whoa, really? Yes.
I agree.
Absolute mundo.
All that extra fat on the picanha that I can't eat all at once, or else, my bile can only break so much down in one sitting. I save it. And then when I have another meal that's lean, I add it so that I'm getting, a certain amount of fat with my meat. And a lot of people don't know that when they go carnivore. There's never enough fat. We've been phobic for years.
And the fat has been cooked.
True.
Which changes its molecular structure. And that's the whole damage to the glycolipoproteins.
Right.
That's been our problem. Cooking food helped us and hurt us at the same time.
Destroys the water-soluble vitamins, and you're right. Yeah,
right. And I'm wondering if our cooking of meat had more to do with you throw the animal on whole without the guts, which seared the outside, and then you got to the inside. I think we overcook our meats.
Black and blue, that's how I love it. I just sear the outside to protect myself from any harmful microbes or on the outside, and then the inside. And when I cut my steaks, they look like sashimi.
Yep, that's rare to raw, black and blue.
I just
Laspina and Kiltz too. I think Dr. Nelson's got to do a video on rare to raw, black and blue. John Laspina and Kiltz is you.
All right, I'll make a.
All right, what do we got there, Alia? You want to read it?
I do have a video on black and blue, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
Let's show it. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Nelson is our video. He's our production king of creativity.
That's funny because when I ate a lot of veggies and fruits, I had the worst gallbladder attack. I changed diet for carnivore, so opposite what the doctors told us. They said we can't eat fat and meat if we have a sick gallbladder, and my gallbladder issues are gone completely.
100%, 100%. Remember, we got all these things in the science that tells us one thing, and so that's the thing that bothers our brains and our bodies. We think glucose is the direct energy to the mitochondria. John, is that possible?
Is that it's a fuel? It is a fuel, but we have.
What do you mean it's a fuel?
Glucose isn't
glucose. No, it's a food.
Oh, what do you say? The question.
You mean again? Glucose can fuel the mitochondria and make ATP directly?
It's more complicated than that, but
it cannot.
Yeah, we have to have protein and fatty acids as well.
Well, we have to have sugars,
right? Because
that's and we have to have fat. I mean, muscle builders, bodybuilders, when they go lean, can they die fast?
Probably, yeah. The ones that have very little body fat, that they're not very healthy. They look like everybody wants them to look, but they're not very healthy.
Well, is that natural?
No.
So the question is, if a bodybuilder dies or an anorexic dies because they have no fat, what's the energy of the body?
Fat.
Yes. Always.
Always.
100%. Us getting obese is pathologic or biologic.
And obesity is a sign. It's a symptom.
But it's not. Again, how many skinny people get cancer and die today?
I don't
all
know.
Day long. All day long.
Skinny versus fat? I don't know.
Skinny dies all day long of cancer.
Oh, because they don't have anything to live off of.
No, it's because the plants and protein, low-fat centric diet is a poisonous diet for humans. And you said it, fiber. What's the value of fiber, John?
It's zero.
So if you cook a plant well, what happens to the fiber?
It's still there.
It simplifies.
But it's still there.
Most of it simplifies. if you heat it up enough, you break the bonds of the sugar molecules, the starches, and they become simple sugars.
But the fiber doesn't break down.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It?
It does. That's why we heat things up. It breaks them down, mushes them up. I mean, if you leave things long enough in the pot, even bone breaks down, right?
Right.
It all becomes mush, which simplifies the sugars and makes them more digestible.
Can I ask you a question? You talk often about the glycocalyx, and I did a little research because I knew I was going to come on with you. And tell me, I said the glycocalyx is the thin protective lining inside our blood vessels that help regulate circulation, reduce friction, protect the vessel walls. But you refer to it a little differently. Can you explain? Because you often bring this up, glycocalyx.
Okay, so look at the earth, the soil of the earth, and the environments contain plants, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If you have no plants, what's the life like in that area?
There's nothing. There's no fuel for them. Right.
So sugars are electrically charged, and they control the molecule motion, attachment, and repulsion. And basically, the sugars are the most important part of the human body, human cells, which are the most important part of all cells of all organisms. It's not just the lining of the blood vessels. It's again, what is DNA made of? Deoxyribose nucleic acid, ribose nucleic acid, RNA, and all proteins are modified, and the majority are glycosylated. So they're infinite sugars, but they're about 9 in the human body.
Right.
And they're different than other organisms, other species, and plants and microbes, and all of them have a different sugar layer, which determines what you are. And so the glycocalyx is the reason we have immense variety of our expression of our DNA. There are about 650 post-translational modifications of a protein. So DNA tells RNA to make a protein in the ER or the Golgi. And those proteins are then modified, which gives the different shapes, charges, functionality. Your environment that we live in actually determines the expression of our DNA. And so people think glucose is an energetic molecule. It is not. It can be converted in the liver along with amino acids and sugars via insulin to VLDL, also known as a fat molecule, a molecule that delivers fats, sugars, amino acids, minerals, and vitamins to every cell of the body. And so ultimately, which is the most important cellular structure of your body?
Well, you're saying that the glycocalyx, the sugars are.
Right, but it's in the adipocytes. So is adipose tissue any more toxic than any other tissue of your body?
Not if it's too much. We get too much, don't you get the cytokines and some of the other side effects? I mean, morbidly obese people, that's not healthy.
Right, but remember, if for 2 weeks you eat nothing, or you go full on fatty raw meat carnivore, what happens to the inflammation?
Well, obviously it drops.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Right. So the cause of the diseases are what's in your gut.
Right.
And what's in your gut is mostly lean meat, plants with their toxins,
right,
and the fermentable substrates. So when we label an obese person sick, and there's a famine and no food for 6 months, would you rather be fat or skinny?
Well, I would rather be a little heavier so my body can feed
No,
off of
you
that.
have 2 options, fat or skinny.
Well, no food. I'd rather be fat so my body has fuel.
Well, fat is the only fuel for the body.
Right.
And now
but we're not in that case now. We have abundance.
Right, But when you had abundance 50,000 years ago,
Right. I know.
what did your brain tell you to do right now?
Told you to eat
Everything.
everything.
So now
You
is
don't
the
know when that
problem.
won't be there. Yeah.
So you're not pathologic. It's the dietary diatribe by the dictators and the environment you are living in.
True.
That's all it is. There's nothing, you're not a drug addict. You are caged in a cell of drugs. Is it easy not to consume the drugs?
It's very difficult not to consume the drugs when they're right in front of your face and everybody else is eating them and they're readily available everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So our job, your job, Dr. Nelson, Zalia, everyone here in the KMT,
Right.
we are lions, not sheep. You can eat plants. I don't care.
Right.
You can drink coffee, tea, whiskey, wine, or beer. But you want to be the very healthiest, full on rare to raw fatty meat with salt, organ meats, water, bond, done. Right?
Yep.
And so the glycocalyx, I mean, how many people talk about the glycocalyx out here?
Just Dr. Kiltz.
And how many people say,
I never heard of it until you started mentioning it so many times. So I'm like, let me look this thing up.
and is getting fat pathologic or biologic?
Is getting fat pathological or biological?
Right.
Well, it's biological, isn't it?
It's only biologic.
Yeah.
So you're addicted to food. I mean, it's kind of like being addicted to air. You can't be addicted to food
No, you have
because
to have it.
food and air and water is our nature.
Right.
So pathologically, our story is wrong.
Mhm.
Even in the keto world, carnivore world,
You're right.
glucose goes to, I mean, what's amino acids for?
To make protein.
Okay. Oh, so you have a bunch of protein. Is there such thing as protein poisoning?
Yes. Yeah. you
So
can't just
why
have
are we
protein.
protein centric?
We shouldn't be.
It was deadly. What cell that you eat only consumes protein?
We all need it, but we need it with fat. We need because the fat.
Well, what about sugar?
When the sugar, there's some sugars in there.
Well, the glycocalyx.
Right.
So if you eat a cell and you claim sugar's not essential, but you're always eating it no matter what you eat, how can you know that it's not essential?
Good point.
We are skewed up and stripped down because we think science is true. Science is theoretical.
Well, we're also confused because there's science and we
Mhm.
know certain things that are true and proven.
Like what? Tell me one thing that's
in
true.
the universe. Just in
What's
the
true?
universe.
Tell me absolutely truth.
What are molecules in the universe? And it's mixed in with these other facts. So we believe the other fact.
It's theoretical.
Right.
Science is theory.
And it changes as we
So
learn.
then how do you know it's true?
Exactly. But we
It's
say
a
the word.
story.
We
That's
say-
the beauty. It's a story. The most
So then we
natural.
confuse everybody.
We think, oh, this is true. There's hard science. Really?
What we thought was hard science changes over the years.
We're telling a story.
so believe certain things, and then we find out later that not so true. We thought
Peer,
Yeah.
what's a peer review? Are we going to fish on a pier?
bros never.
We bring
heard
up
of
some
peer
sticky
review.
stuff a lot of times, right?
Bros heard of peer review.
Peer reviewed journals, right?
That's another person reading your journal and another expert reading.
No, it's your friends
Right.
and your investors.
Peers, friends and peers.
And so, would you trust a peer-reviewed article? Are they friends of Jeffrey Island?
I'll read it and just consider it. The number one thing that I will trust is my N=1 experiment. That I
But
can
that's
prove
a story,
for me.
right? But these are stories we like publishing for propaganda. That someone comes on board and says, "Boy, that John guy is really cool. Kiltz is freaked up."
What about Dr. Nelson?
He's the story writer
He's the
and the
story.
story producer. Oh, do we have any cues out there?
Yep. I put your link in the chat, but what's the name of your book?
I have it up there in my face. It's called Beyond Oxalates, the complete guide to plant toxins. So it's a reference book, and you can use the table of contents to just refer to the different plant toxins. When I redid the research for this book, I found so many more that I hadn't even heard of, and I put them all in a book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Alia, have we got links to Christ Carnivore yet?
No.
All our
But
books, you got them up there, share them with everyone, you get a free copy, right? Good. Amazon, all that good stuff.
Yep.
We're here to be controversial a little bit, right?
You are. No, I love you, Dr. Kiltz. I love you always challenge your guests and question them. And when I met you in person, I remember you did that with me with insulin resistance, and it made me think. And that is excellent. As a teacher, I love that.
Well, does insulin resistance really exist?
Insulin resistance is the pathological insulin resistance is associated with a metabolic disease, a chronic overnutrition or inflammation. The physiological would be considered the adaptive glucose sparing, a reversible fuel partitioning adaptation. It both exists. It's the way you look at it. It's
a story.
It's
but
a story.
Where does insulin resistance happen?
It happens in it's if you're calling it insulin resistance.
Well,
if you're not calling it insulin resistance, you're calling it adaptive glucose sparing because the body's adapting. I don't.
Well, wait a minute.
Insulin resistance.
Where does the glucose come from that you're measuring in your blood and you're calling it hyperglycemia or diabetes?
Well, it can come from two places: the food you're eating and the glucose your liver is making through gluconeogenesis.
No way. No way.
Why not?
No way. It's only digestive sugars. Because if you don't eat for a week,
you still have it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the glycocalyx of the adipocytes?
I don't know. You're the glycocalyx.
Well, again, where does fat come from when you haven't eaten for 3 weeks?
Where does fat come from? From my own body.
Where? Your adipose tissue.
Right.
What's the purpose of adipose tissue?
Well, it's storage. It's overflow from the.
What does it not overflow? What does it store?
What does it store? It has the fat soluble vitamins. Yes.
Amino acids, simple sugars,
right.
Fatty acids, minerals, and vitamins. Because a hibernating bear, 6 months no food, builds 4 bears in utero.
Wow.
Where did it get that substances to build that bear?
Right, from all of its fat.
That's all.
Yeah.
Not the liver, not the muscles, not the brain.
But the liver turned all the sugar from the berries into the fat.
Nope.
De novo lipogenesis.
The glycocalyx, my friend. Again, we're lied to. The science and the anatomy is wrong because a cirrhotic patient, very, very bad, almost no liver function. What's their glucose level? It's high.
It should.
It's high.
I don't know if it's high. It should be
high. If you're eating a diet
over 100.
100 over, because what's their diet in general? It's Ensure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So remember, 99.9% of people eat at least 1 or 2 or 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
And it's filled with plants and lean meat, right?
And seed oil and carbs.
Well, we're plant substances.
Right.
Carbs and seed oils come from what?
Carbs and seed oils come from what? They come from plants.
Plants. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Plants and lean meat, right? Low fat. That goes to the liver. Insulin rises to convert those things to fat in the liver, but the liver doesn't have the capacity to do that because of severe hepatocytic damage.
Oh, if they have the damage, yeah.
Right. So there's something called hepatogenous diabetes.
Ah. They're in bad shape.
Right. So what don't we feed humans?
What shouldn't we feed humans?
No, what don't we feed humans? The standard diet says don't eat
fat.
Right. So why do we get fat?
Because we don't eat fat. Because
that's all it is.
It is. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because does fat go to the liver or the lymphatics when you eat it?
Well, the fat, does it go to the lymphatics or the liver?
Chylomicrons.
Yeah.
It goes to the lymphatics.
Lymphatic system. Yeah.
Right, because adipose tissue, adipose fat in the gut doesn't require metabolic processing in the liver because it already is what your body is screaming to eat. And we're not doing it.
You're right.
And
it's screaming to eat it, but the signals are so confused and people don't understand the signals.
Well, because you're brainwashed since the day before you were born.
You're right. And all of the hormones are out of whack. So we don't understand what satiety and hunger really is.
But that's the complicated science. It's complicated because remember, the cells of the organs that create the hormones are damaged from what? What are you writing about?
Well,
oxalates.
Plant toxins. Absolutely, they're damaged by the oxalates, the lectins, the phytates, the goitrogens, the saponins. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. You're absolutely, and there's so many in different plants.
But you can reduce the toxins by cooking the food, processing it, and adding. Wait. Let me finish. In general, you can actually. More significant, we know by fermentation, processing, and soaking and cooking. Those are the main ways we can. Again, eat a cup of raw kidney beans or eat a cup of absolutely well-cooked and soaked kidney beans.
You won't die with the well-cooked and soaked, but you're still getting lectins.
No, I didn't. I said less toxic.
Less.
Not
no, you're right. And then some people think if you just boil and cook without soaking and draining, it's the same thing. You're actually condensing. You're actually concentrating. So people don't have the knowledge that our ancestors did. Our ancestors knew how to do all this stuff that you're saying.
Well, that's what you're
We're not
sharing.
doing it that much anymore.
You're creating that. But remember, a plant-based animal fat diet is not necessarily a deadly diet. It's more toxic. The carnivore only animal fatty meat, organ meat, salt and water. Would you say is the healthiest diet for humans, John?
Yes, I would.
What's your diet?
That I have no plant toxins. I don't ingest any plants at all. I've gotten to that point, and I've never felt healthier.
Do you breathe them?
Do I breathe them? Do I breathe meat? What are you saying?
No, the toxins.
Do I breathe toxins? There's pollutants and particulates in the air. There are things I have no control over. But
are there microbes?
I take it. I control what I can control.
Right. I'm just for those listening. Remember, pollen and microbes.
They're in there
everywhere.
Right.
Listen, this doesn't mean you're not going to get anything.
Right.
But you're maximizing the things you could do.
Exactly.
By what you put in your mind and your mouth.
In my mouth.
On the motion of your body.
Perfectly worded. Easily.
Dr. Nelson.
Yes.
Did you want to show something, Dr. Nelson?
Do we have any cues or comments?
We do.
One from George.
Yes.
Hi,
yes.
George.
Does John believe that our
I was looking for a video about ketogenic foods that it's 8 seconds.
Oh. Does John believe that our message is reaching people? Or are we wasting our time telling our stories?
We are reaching people because I'm getting feedback. I'm getting comments. I'm getting questions in Facebook where I post my reels, in my YouTube channel. I have tons of people posting comments because I ask for them at the end of every one of my video. I say, please leave questions, comments, and suggestions, and I will write everyone back. And they come flooding in, and I spend hours each day If I don't know the answer, I tell them I don't know, or I research it. But people are starving for this information. I've learned they're asking questions. So yes, George, I think the message is reaching people. If we could go wider, it would be even better.
Well, we are. We are
with you and with
expanding
everybody
and
else.
growing, and with crazy John Carnivore Teacher and his stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's not scientific. It's spiritualistic.
Spiritualistic, and it is outcomes. I have lived it.
It's not scientific outcomes. It's individual outcomes.
I want a spear.
We should start selling that on Amazon.
That is awesome.
This is my $5,000 spear. We're going to start selling to bring in moolah to help the Ula of the master tribe of KMT.
You had that made. That is so cool. Show the part that has your symbol on your lion face. I love that. I want one.
Tosh, I'll get Tosh. We'll get some orders. They're an investment into art.
So it's only 5,000, huh?
It's only 5,000.
Will you take 4?
Twice, and we'll throw in a Kiltz hat, a Kiltz cup, and a Kiltz hat.
All right. I have some Kiltz merchandise.
And we'll even throw in a Nelson hat. Where's your Nelson hat, Dr. Nelson?
Don't have
glasses.
Don't have them at hand.
Here, I'll put this hat on. This is my Sinatra hat.
Oh, I love it. What toxins are in bacon?
Well, there's really no toxins in bacon, but bacon is pork, and pork is from the pig monogastric, and you're getting whatever the pig ate, you're getting it. There's no filter.
Well, the pig is probably the most amazing animal for humans to eat. All this ruminant shit is just I will give you that. Now look at again.
Omega-6. I'm telling you, I had inflammation in my lower back.
If I may, all this omega-3, 6 shit is all scientism. Again, prove it.
I can prove it with my own self, with my own body.
You can't.
No,
you can't. You know why you can't? I'll tell you why you can't. Because you already believe it's bad.
Well, I can change that, but then go back and eat a whole bunch of bacon and not believe it, and then
pork belly, beef belly. Again, these ideas of that we're sharing a story. All this. I mean, what animal asks did you get your omega-3s?
My wonderful wild-caught sockeye salmon.
Again, that's another ism. Did you eat the head and all the organs, including the bones?
No. When I have my sardines, I eat the skin on and the bones in.
Right on, but the head?
The sardines, I could. I don't because they don't come in the can that way, but I could.
But because interesting about pork, that animal is the most prolific animal in the world.
Yeah.
And it will eat anything. Again, imagine there's no fences, no gates, there's no kibble, and there's no trash.
Then they're healthy. They're
eating. But again, most of them are healthier than you know.
Most of them are being fed.
$1 billion they're healthy to eat. Healthy. Again, mind, mouth, mission. I'm just, again, the isms make it complicated.
I understand that. Yeah.
That's all.
But when I go to the grocery store and I don't have a farm to go to or whatever, and I see pork,
it's amazing meat.
I don't know what it ate.
It's amazing meat.
I love it.
It is one of the most amazing meats you could eat.
But I'd rather have ruminant.
Again, but again, this ruminant idea is not solid in anything.
For the general public who's learning this,
I
don't talk about all this because I don't want to complicate it because they're at a lower part.
Well, then keep it simple.
I do.
Eat fatty meat.
Beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fish, and eggs. That's what I tell people. Eat as much as you want. Make sure it's fatty. And then when you fine tune it and you get some knowledge and you go down the line and if I take a little bit more of the pork and the poultry out, do I feel better? And many people try that.
Most people, remember, the problem is people are eating lean meat.
That is a problem as well.
That is number one problem.
Yeah, it is.
Again, the pork, the pig, is one of the most amazing animals to eat. That's it.
Yeah, their fat is closer to the sebum in our skin than even beef tallow.
The glycocalyx of the pig is closer to us than anything, because what organs do we use to give to humans if it's not a human heart? It's a pig
you're
heart.
right. Yeah, that's true.
Look at the glycocalyx of a pig. See, everyone thinks they're dirty. Well, that's all bullshit. Or the omega-3 and 6s. Who made that one up?
Well, 3 and 6 is
bullshit.
I don't think it's
bullshit. Bullshit.
So, all right. So 6s and 3s are bullshit. So we can drink and eat all the seed oil that we want.
No.
Okay, John. John is a seed oil.
Linoleic acid for everybody.
Is a seed oil an intact fat from an animal? No.
Linoleic acid.
John, enough of the linoleic acid, all that shit. Eat fatty animal meat because plant and seed oils are deadly. But remember, that's an industrial bottled product.
I know. In plastic, in a light.
Keep it simple.
Right.
Look at, if we get back to simplicity, human beings are like, go to the market, buy fatty meat. I don't care where it's coming from.
I agree.
That is it.
I agree.
Every time
we are a little further along in the
we're not.
nutrition. Yes, we are.
No, this is the problem. It's beyond science. The science is an ism because all of it is about money, 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 money. All of it. Omega-3s and 6s. What's your LDL, by the way?
My LDL is 290.
Who cares?
I know, because my HDL is high and my
it's
low. The context matters.
Yes.
If I have high LDL and all my other markers are really bad, I'm in bad shape.
You think it is, it will be that. Do you believe in God?
I personally, you're asking me a personal, spiritual, religious question.
I'm asking everyone.
And I'm setting it up to say, yes, I do.
And why wouldn't you believe in God? Because God is where?
Well, God is in me, and he's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's well, I don't believe that. Who cares, right? What are the questions or comments? I don't want to make sure that John gets every amazing thing he's been sharing. And you guys got to get his book. It's an amazing book. And plants are good for you.
If I don't eat fish, should I supplement with omega-3? Where are the omega-3s in meat or eggs?
There's omega-3s in pasture-raised eggs. There's omega-3s. You can do the fish oil, but what I do with fish oil pills, I know
there is omega-3 in beef as well. There is omega-3 in beef.
Yeah, a very small amount. But Dr. Kiltz is going to say it's all bullshit now. So
it's all bullshit. Remember, when people eat meat, what don't they eat?
When they don't eat meat,
eat meat, what do most people not eat, including carnivores?
Well, the fat. They're not
100%.
I know, but we now know, so now we're willing to eat the fat.
No, but again, when you cook fat, what happens to the glycocalyx?
Right, you're taking out the important part of the fat.
The most important part.
Render it. I understand. And when I go to the butcher, I tell him I want extra fat, and he gives me free fat in a bag that's not rendered, that I add to the lean crap that I buy. So that when my plate has a good, healthy amount of both.
And so we confuse all of this. All of it.
People are confused. They're confused because
we in the science world confuse everyone.
We do. I've often said it's not complicated. It is the simplest thing in the world to just eat. We're the only animal
eat what?
that doesn't know how to eat.
Oh, but you can't eat pork.
You can eat pork.
It's like
I didn't say you don't eat pork. I just said if you only eat pork,
what?
Poultry, and that's not enough.
How do you know?
Because you'll know the way how you feel in your body.
I eat pork all the time.
You don't just eat pork.
Sometimes.
Only for years.
For 100 years, 1,000 years. But again, the point is that the pig is one of the most amazing animals in the world.
If I can have a pig that eats what it's supposed to eat, yes.
Well, but did your cow eat what it's supposed to eat?
No, but it has a rumen.
Well, how do you know? What does a rumen do?
Oh, I dissected one the other day. I saw the chambers.
Well, so what? But what does it do?
It filters out the glyphosate.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Do cows die of plant poisoning?
I don't know.
Look at our book, and you look at 100 years ago ish, but they die all the time. The United States Department of Agriculture's Journal on Plant Poisoning for domesticated animals.
I'd have to look.
They get sick and die all the time.
Okay.
John, is there something you wanted to also share? Because I want to make sure we're getting every bit of the book and ideas that our good friend John Laspina is sharing.
I love the banter, and I love you, Dr. Kiltz, and you always challenge me, and I think that's the best part of you, and I thank you for that. My book is on Amazon. It is called Beyond Oxalates. I have 2 other books on there, by the way, and it is a reference guide so that you can look up the different plant toxins, and there are many toxins in plants. I don't think we should be eating them. Some people can tolerate some of them. It's very individual and different. So check out the book. Now, every Wednesday, I'm reading my own chapter. I'm reading a different chapter, and I'm putting it online. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you don't want to buy the book. I don't care. I don't care about making money. You can eventually get the entire book if every Wednesday you listen to a different chapter.
Awesome. Are you guys
okay, Amy Hot, does Kiltz and Amy ever argue? Yes. But it isn't arguing.
It's not
anything other than it's creativity, it's conversation, it's bantering, it's wrestling. Who loves wrestling?
How are we going to grow and learn if we're not challenged?
Right. We just keep the weapons away.
Right. And you're respectful. The respect
100%.
is always intact.
I respect John Laspina's information, his books, and my good friend Amy.
And I respect you, sir. And I respect other people that are even rude and disrespectful towards me, because that just says something about them. You always be respectful.
And I honor John for his work, and I love his work. That's why I love to we're teasing it out of each other. And that's a lot of this, right?
And you have a lot of knowledge, and I respect what you have to say. So I'm like, he said this, glycocalyx. I got to learn this. I was prepping before I came on here. I'm like, he's going to bring that up.
Well, I was reading about fat and anorexia. And they have lots of sugar circulating in their body. How come they die?
Well, the fat. They don't have enough fat. Yeah.
That's right. So how much? The metabolic processes, which I'm confused by it. Most of our problem is inflammation.
You're right.
Not metabolic damage.
Yeah.
You're like, again, all the pathways, Otto Warburg and Hans Krebs. How accurate is their science?
I don't know, but
Do you know for sure?
I don't.
Do you know for sure?
I don't.
Well, who paid them to do their science?
Good point. Who pays anybody to do their studies?
I mean, do you think in some way their mission was to make money and be famous?
Possibly.
Well, who doesn't?
Right. Well, yeah. A lot of times people get into things for good moral reasons, and then they get corrupt.
Well,
money comes in.
What do you mean? I mean, ultimately, what are the only 2 things that matter in the universe? Actually, the only one that matters, Alia.
Making babies.
So
reproduction doctor.
That's all it is. I mean, everything we think is just a story in order to get freaking effed. Right? I mean, Alia, we want our homes, our stuff, we want our family. Ultimately, that's all that matters.
That's right.
Which is kind of crazy, right? Why beautiful people have more daughters. Look that one up, Alia.
Is that true?
Great book. It's a great book.
Beautiful.
It's a sociology book about a simple story. Why do you want to be a carnivore? Reproductive reasons. Why do you want to be a podcaster? Reproductive reasons.
Oh, I don't know if I want to get laid because I'm making YouTube.
No. Again, it's back to the basic biology of the cell. Your cells will overtake you all day long.
I understand your point. Yeah.
Again, we think we have control of our lives.
Well, I know that I want to leave something behind. I don't want to get through life and nobody remembers me. So that's
there's only one thing you leave behind. There's only one thing you leave behind.
Reproduction. I get you.
Your DNA.
Yeah, DNA.
That's it.
Well, you can temporarily leave behind the books and stories and music and anything you make for the future.
But why did you do that? Why did you do that?
For the future.
Because you want to be famous, so your children have someone to say, he's my dad.
Right.
Oh, you must be really good.
Yeah.
It's good genes. We're passing on the story of the genes to get what?
To perpetuate life, to perpetuate everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where can people find you, John?
I'm on YouTube as Carnivore Teacher Alpha and all the social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, all the different things. And Amazon, you just type in the name of my book in Amazon, and that and my other 2 books will come up. And I have some of them on Audible. If you're a listener as well, you can download the Audible. And we are on Carnivore Sunday School every Sunday with George Goodenough and Juliet Edens. And I go on Monday nights if you want to join that discussion. So I try to, and I do interviews. I'm doing an interview later today for a young lady from Portugal. So I'm trying to continue getting the word out.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, all of us. Are we different as animals, each of us individually?
Are we different? That's a very general question. We are very similar, all of us.
So do our cells individually, how many trillions of human beings alive today and how many infinite human beings ever alive in this world, all individually different?
We are individually different, but 199%
our cells
all the same.
All the same.
Yeah.
So what would you say, John Laspina, Carnivore Teacher Alpha, everyone quiet in the group, everyone listening in the world today or in 1,000 years from today, where people are listening to crazy Kiltz, Laspina, Nelson, and Alia, what is the proper nutrition for a human being?
Animal foods.
So you mean like grass and seeds and the food that animals eat?
The animals eat it and the animals make the wonderful meat that we enjoy.
So should we just eat like filet and lean meat, John?
Eat nose to tail. Make sure you have plenty of unrendered fat.
What temperature should we cook our meat at?
You can be rare and raw in the middle. And I personally believe, don't stop me now, that ruminant meat, we can sear the outside. We should cook pork and poultry thoroughly.
Well, what about room temperature animal meat? I mean, what did you do 50,000 years ago?
Oh, we cooked in an open fire.
Well, how do you know? Well, if you killed the beast, would you wait for the barbecue guy, gal, the chef, or the person with the diet book?
I think that we learned through trial and error that it's better to heat it up a little bit on the outside.
There we go. Goodbye.
I don't know. All right. Well,